So Simmers, and welcome back to a brand new video. In today's video, we'll be ranking all of the Sims 4 kits that are there as of September 2024. At this point, we have 31 kits, which means that if you buy all of them full price, you're paying $155. That's a lot of money, so I want to make sure that you're not spending money on kits that actually kind of suck, and that you are getting the kits that are absolutely worth it. So I made a little tier list, which is a public one, so I'll make sure to link it in the description box down below if you want to make one for yourself as well. Mind you, this is obviously a personal opinion video, so this is my opinion on the kits. It is completely fine if we agree to disagree and you have a different opinion on the kits. I also want to preface this video by saying that I am a little bit more lenient towards the build kits, simply because I'm more of a builder in The Sims than I am a casser, and we don't have gameplay kits. So we might differ a little bit in opinions when it comes to what I like for kits compared to what you like for kits. So please make sure to watch multiple reviews when deciding whether you should or should not buy a kit. But without further ado, let's actually dive right into it. So welcome to my little tier maker. I actually opted for 5 different tiers. We have Perfection, which is kits that I just adore, and I would, jokingly spend 10 bucks on them if they were 10 bucks. Of course, I already think that the kits are quite expensive, so I would definitely not recommend EA upping the prices to $10 because no one would be buying these kits, and I genuinely think $5 for some of these is already far too much. But let's just say that if they were 10 bucks, I would consider buying them because I love the kit so much. That's the kits that are going to go into Perfection. Then we have Good Kit, which is just, it's a solid kit. It's a good one. I guess it would be worth the $5, but it is a little bit dependent on personal taste. Then we have Fine, I guess, which is just things that I'm like, I don't really know what my opinion on that kit is. It's not like a bad kit. Objectively, it has the amount of items that would fit a $5 price, but I'm just personally not the biggest fan of it. Then we have Meh, which is just things that I'm like, I wouldn't necessarily recommend you buying it unless you have a very specific scenario or you have money to throw around. And then we have the last one, which is To the Dumpster. That's just something that you should never ever consider buying because it would be a waste of your money. I actually decided that we're going to go in, I would say reversed order. We're just going to start with like the actual first kit and we're going to work our way up to the more recent kits. I also think it might be good to note that in my personal opinion, the kits have been getting better, and I genuinely think the Sims team is also kind of learning what should or should not be in a kit. So I heavily like the more recent kits more than the older ones. So this video might start out a little bit negative and then it will get better. I promise. That's why I think it is a good idea that we start with the older ones. We're going to start with the Throwback Fit kit, which I'm going to place at Meh for the simple reason that I genuinely think that this is something that we didn't really need. Like, we have enough tracksuits in the game. I am a sucker for the 80s, so I like this kit. I do use the items from the kit, but I genuinely wouldn't miss it if it wasn't in the game. We have so many outfits for your Sims to sport in, to work out in, to lounge in. So this kit is kind of like, unless you're looking for a very specific 80s style tracksuit, then this is nice. Otherwise, do not waste your money on it. The game has plenty of other items, specifically if you already own a lot of the other DLC. The Country Kitchen kit, I'm going to place in Good Kit. I would specifically like to mention with this one that it is mostly a really good kit if you do not own the Cottage Living expansion pack. If you do have the Cottage Living expansion pack, then this kit is a very similar style to that. If you love that style, go for it. Buy this kit. It's great. But if you already have that pack and it's not a style that you tend to build in very often, then maybe this item or this kit might not be the best for you because you might feel like you're paying $5 for something you already own. The Bust the Dust kit I'm genuinely gonna put into the dumpster, and this makes me so sad because I am a person who was so excited for the Bust the Dust kit when it came out. I was so convinced I was gonna love this kit because there's a picture of me as like a 3-year-old kid where I'm vacuuming the house. Apparently I love vacuuming, and the thought of it, I don't know, it's just, I thought I would love this in The Sims. And then I didn't, because the sparkling system where it like shows that your floor is clean genuinely gives me a terrible migraine. The whole dust system is broken AF. It doesn't work at all. And just in general, your Sims take forever to vacuum, and they'll vacuum outside. None of this whole kit makes sense, and I don't think you should be spending money on it. Then we're gonna go to Courtyard Oasis, which I'm gonna place in Fine, I guess. And when the kit came out, I loved it. I actually built with it a ton, and I think it is a really, really solid idea for a kit. I just think they lack a little bit in execution, because I think the most heard criticism for this kit, which is something that I fully support, is the fact that it comes with too little variants of the items to actually use them regularly. So the items actually come in just medium wall height. The window windows are kind of small if you think about the medium wall height, and it's just the items aren't varied enough to actually build a whole house with it because you feel like you're repeating the same item over and over and over. So I think the concept of having a very specific build style as a kit is super nice, and we'll see that later down the line with, for example, the castle kit. I think the concept is great. I think the execution of the courtyard oasis is just not that good. However, if you are looking for something to build in this specific style, the items that come with the kit are beautiful. They're very well made, and I don't have any complaints about like the swatches or the textures or the quality. So it's just the fact that I'm missing certain items. The kit would, like, if they had added 5 items just to add like more variants of windows and doors and stuff, I think this kit would have ended up at good kit or perfection for me. Then we're gonna go to the industrial loft kit, which I'm gonna place at good kit, which might be a little bit controversial. I know this kit sparked a lot of debate when it launched because the cover art actually showed a window that wasn't included in the kit, which made people very mad, rightfully so, by the way. But I do think that this is a very nice kit. It definitely adds a style of furniture that we do not really have in the game. I think that this style of furniture probably wouldn't have fitted with any of the expansion packs, maybe City Living, but they went for a completely different theme there. And it is nice for them to add this style of furniture this way, and I genuinely find myself using these items a lot in game, specifically the fluffy rug, but also the bed and the nightstands, and there's just a bunch of things in this pack that I genuinely really enjoy using, so I'll place it at good kit. Then we have Ancients Arrivals, and I'm gonna place this at perfection because this is one of the few cast kits that I am actively obsessed with, but I am just a sucker for this style. I love the whole like Korean fashion. My boyfriend wears a lot of these clothes. I love this style. I just think in general it is like the perfect match for me in terms of clothing. So I love it for my Sims. Also, the items are very high quality, so I'm not saying it's perfection just because I love the fashion style, but I think it is also a very versatile kit because even if this style is not maybe like a perfect match for you, the style is very versatile to match with all other styles in the game. So this kit is just a really nice addition. It blends in very well. However, if this is not your style at all and you see the cover art and you're like, I don't think this is me, it's too bland, or maybe it's just not my vibe, then maybe this kit might be in a different place. But like in terms of objects, in terms of size of the kits, like the amount of items that come with it and the textures and the quality, it is a really good kit, so I do recommend it. The Fashion Street kit, I feel like almost for me is the opposite of the Ancients Arrivals, where it is quite a maximalist kit. Like the items and the clothing items are quite out there, have a lot of patterns, a lot of more bright colors, which is why it isn't really for me. That's just not the way that I like to dress or the way that I like to dress my Sims. Even in storytelling, we already have a lot of brightly colored things in The Sims, so it just doesn't add something for me in the game that I was missing. However, the kit itself is pretty decent. It does add a brand new fashion style into the game, which I think is really important from like a representation perspective. So I'll add it to fine, I guess, simply because I'm not the biggest fan, but that doesn't make it a bad kit. The Blooming Rooms kit, I'm gonna place with like pain in my heart in fine, I guess. This was another kit that I was so incredibly excited for because I am a huge plant person. I love plants. I have a ton of plants. My whole branding on my Twitch stream is built around plants. This room has like literally all the reason for me to love this kit, and it just didn't live up to the expectation. Of all of the items in the kit, there's maybe like 3 or 4 plants that I use on the regular, and all the items kind of just get ignored in my game because I don't think they look very nice. I think they're very out there and they just don't fit with what we all expected of this pack, which was a pack that was basically full of beautiful, cute little cluttery and hanging plants and everything. And then they went out and made like a whole table and a whole like framework with plants, and it's just not what we want. And I think that's just sad because it was such a cool opportunity for them to add so many plants, and this becoming like a perfection kit for sure. Then we have the Modern Menswear kit, and I'm gonna place this at meh. Tempted to place it to the dumpster for me personally, because I think this kit, it's a really cool kit in terms of that they worked with an actual designer, but I'm not sure about you. I really genuinely do not care for designer clothes. So even though I love the concept of them working with people IRL to design things for The Sims, I think this kit includes a style that is really out there, and it's also a style that I personally don't necessarily feel the most comfortable with because I don't understand it. I'm like not into fashion. I like nice clothes, but I'm not into fashion, and I feel like this is very much like high fashion, which is just not how I dress my Sims. If that is something that you enjoy, I do like the items items in here. I do like the textures. And again, I think all of the kits generally have quite good quality items. It's just, this is definitely not my favorite. I wouldn't recommend it at all. Like, if someone asked me what kits do you buy, this is not on my list ever. The Carnival Streetwear I'm gonna place in fine, I guess, because again, it's a very like maximalist kit. It has some fun items for like the party wear for my Sims, but I do think it is not really my style. And again, it's a casket. So I mentioned at the beginning of the video, I'll probably be like a little bit more partial towards the build kits because that's just more my vibe. I do think this is a very nice one in terms of representation in the game, but I also feel like I saw a lot of people that I know from like my Twitch community talk about this kit in kind of a way like, it is sad they only added this representation for like Brazilian culture through a kit with like very little items. They had so much more opportunity. I think they're trying to do that with like expansion packs and like trying to be more diverse, but it's just sad that something as big as an event as Carnival is only integrated in certain clothing items, whereas it could have been a whole event and there's like so much more to this than they actually added with this kit. So it's kind of like, it's nice for the representation, but they could have done more with this theme, I guess. Then the decor to the max I'm gonna place in good kit. When I bought this kit, I genuinely thought that I wasn't gonna be a huge fan of it because again, I'm not really into maximalism. It's not my style. I struggle to build maximalistic houses, but I actually really like this kit. Like the items in there are good and they are versatile enough that I do find myself using some of them even in like my not so maximalist houses. Of course, there's a couple of items in there that are very out there and I'll probably not use that often, but I really like it. And I also really like the amount of items in this kit. I feel like it's a good packed kit. So if you get it, you don't feel like you're paying a lot of money for very little items. The Moonlight Chic kit, I'm also going to place in fine, I guess, because again, kind of like the Fashion Street kit and kind of like the Carnival Streetwear, I'm not like the biggest fan of these. They're not like my dream kits, but the items are good, I guess. Then we have Little Campers and I'm going to place it at perfection because I love family gameplay. And I think this one is so incredibly cute. I genuinely love this kit. I think the items are very nice. I think it definitely adds something to the game that we didn't have before. I love throwing my Sims like little outdoor sleepover parties. I think it is super cute, so I highly recommend buying it. The first fit kits I'm gonna place at meh because I don't think we need this kit. So in my opinion, there is enough clothing for children, or maybe I just don't care enough about my kids, but I think there's enough items. I don't need more items for my kids. I think we're all covered. I think we're all good. And this kit is like, it adds a couple of nice ones. If you're very much into family gameplay and you love like giving your children makeovers in the game, then maybe this kit will be for you, but I personally don't think it adds that much. And that's also for me the difference between the Fashion Street Fit, the Carnival Streetwear, and the Moonlight Chic kit, because they genuinely add something to the game that we don't have. And with the first fit kits, I'm like, we already kind of have enough of this. I don't need any more. The Desert Luxe kit, I'm also going to place at perfection because the items in this kit are so beautiful, so stunning. I find myself using them all the time. I really genuinely enjoy this kit so much. I love there's literally not a single item in this kit where I'm like, I don't use it that often. I literally love every single item. So highly recommend it. The Pastel Pop one is also going to go in perfection for me because I just think it is one of those things that I was missing in the game. We have a lot of colorful things, but none of them are really like pastel-y and cutesy. And I always jokingly say that this pack comes with a salt lamp, and I would just pay the $5 for the salt lamp because I am a huge sucker for salt lamps. I love them. I just think they're cozy and pretty, and I would pay $5 for a salt lamp. That's a very personal situation. Wouldn't necessarily recommend you to pay $5 for just a salt lamp in The Sims, but this kit altogether is just really nice, and you can really genuinely see what happens when The Sims actually collaborates with a Sims creator, because this kit was created in collaboration with Plumbella, and you really see the difference in quality in terms of what items are added and like what kind of patterns they went for, what kind of colors they went for. So absolutely love this kit. The Everyday Clutter 100% is going to go in perfection. I think we were all hoping for a clutter pack at one point, and then they added the Everyday Clutter one and everyone was like, yes, this is perfect. I find myself using the Everyday Clutter kit in every single build I do. There is no build that I do without this kit anymore because it makes your houses feel so lively. Then the Simtimates collection, I'm gonna place in fine, I guess. No, actually, I'm gonna place this in good kit. I have to be honest with myself. At first, I thought this was gonna be a fine, I guess kit, but I ended up really liking this kit because it comes with a bunch of like really nice underwear and lingerie and like pajamas for your Sims. And I didn't realize that this was something that I was missing in the game because I thought we had enough of this, but I also realized that I just never really cared for my Sims underwear and I just gave them whatever was basic in the game and I just ignored it. And then when it was added, I actually realized that I do enjoy giving my Sims like more specific lingerie or like a nice pajamas on certain occasions. And I think it's great for storytelling. And that's something that I absolutely didn't expect. I could recommend this kit simply because it actually added something to the game. And that's, I think, one of the most important things when you are spending $5 on a DLC is that you actually feel like it elevated your gameplay in a way. The bathroom clutter, I'm going to place in good kit. The only reason I am not going to place it in perfection is because I'm not really sure if I'm too enthusiastic about the fact that this is a separate kit from everyday clutter. I think, honestly, I would have preferred a full bathroom kit with clutter in it and then some of the clutter items in this kit to also show up in everyday, and then they probably would have gone in perfection together. But I remember that I was a little bit disappointed when I bought the everyday clutter kit and like 2 weeks later they announced the bathroom clutter kit. I can see with the amount of items in both kits why they split them up. I just cannot get myself to be as enthusiastic about the bathroom clutter one as I can about the everyday clutter one. However, it is a very solid kit and it's absolutely worth your $5. The greenhouse haven kit, I'm going to place at good kit. For me, it's not a perfect kit because I think just getting this kit without having, for instance, seasons will make it feel a little bit empty. So it's almost like you need another DLC for this kit to be like fully perfection. So that's why I'm not placing it as perfect on its own, but it is a very nice kit. And I think this kit is kind of the opposite of the Blooming Rooms kit because I think a lot of people had quite low expectations of the greenhouse haven kit and then it kind of stepped up and turned out to be more than what it promised. Whereas with the Blooming Rooms kit, it kind of was underwhelming. I feel like this one was like overwhelmingly positive by the community as well. The basement treasures, I'm going to place in good kit because I really enjoy the nostalgia in this kit. I like the items for storytelling, but I also do think it's not like a necessary kit. I feel like if I place it in perfection, it is going to sound like I need this kit for every single of my builds, and that's absolutely not the case. However, it is a very solid kit to get if you're feeling like you want to add something to your game, like something fresh that allows you to do some new storytelling. The grunge revival one, I'm going to place at fine, I guess. I like some of the items in the kit. I don't like some of the other items in the kit. I'm a little bit impartial to this kit. I'm not gonna lie. I don't think it's a bad kit, so I wouldn't place it at meh or to the dumpster because I just genuinely don't think that it belongs there. But I'm also not like the first person to recommend the grunge revival kit to anyone. The Book Nook kit is 100% perfection. I think the Book Nook kit might be my favorite kit of all times. I absolutely did not anticipate to love this kit as much, but it is one of those kits that just once I added it to my game, I realized there will never be a time where I want to take it out. It adds so many versatile items to your game that work perfectly within the set of the Book Nook, but also perfectly outside of it. And it just blends into your game so perfectly that you'll find yourself using these items all the time. The poolside splash kit, I'm actually going to place in meh because I didn't really need any more bikinis or bathing suits in the game. I guess I use them sometimes whenever I'm making a sim and I'm giving them like a bathing suit. I will use these items because I have them in my game, but if they weren't there, I wouldn't really miss them. And also, I think like the patterns and stuff are really funny and like meme worthy, but at the same time, I will never actually use them. Like the gnome speedo was really funny when I saw it the first time, but that was like only the first 5 seconds that I thought it was funny. And then I'm like, I'm never gonna use this, maybe at one point on a Twitch stream, but that's like for very unserious gameplay, which I feel like most content creators do at one point. But if I were just playing The Sims for myself, I would probably never get to that level of hysteria in the game, and I would never use these items, so I don't think you need it. The quality is good, but I just don't think it's worth your money. The Modern Luxe kit, I'm actually going to place a good kit. When I first saw the promo pictures of this kit, I actually thought that I wouldn't like it as much because I wasn't a huge fan of the kind of like luxurious style in this kit, but then I actually downloaded it and it turned out to be one of my favorite kits. I wouldn't place it at perfection because there's definitely certain items in this kit where I'm like, personally, it's not my style, so I won't use it as often. It comes with the frame TV, which I love, and it comes with a bunch of items that I think the balance between versatility and luxurious is perfect in this kit, because I think if The Sims had made this without collaborating with another Sims creator, they would have probably made it so extremely luxurious, kind of like what they did with some of the items in Get Famous, where it's so out there that I'll probably never use it. But with this one, it feels perfectly balanced, and I'm all for that, so it's a really nice kit to get. The Goth Galore, I'm gonna place place at meh for the simple reason that I just don't think that goth is a style that can be captured in a single kit with just, what is it, like 15 items? I think goth as a style is far too diverse to put it in such a small kit, and I think that was also generally the feedback that this kit got when it released. A lot of people were expecting a different style of goth because they were not identifying with the style that they saw in the game, and I personally like some of the items, but I also don't like all of them, and I don't like a lot of the textures with this kit. I actually think that this kit has some of the worst textures when it comes to all of the items that they made, and there was also a huge game bug whenever Sims were wearing the item that this middle Sim is wearing, like with the hood, where their eyes would turn ginormous. And to be honest, I'm still experiencing this bug in my game, not necessarily because of this kit, but due to other reasons. But I feel like this bug was introduced with this kit, and I'm just not the biggest fan of this kit at all. The Castle Estate kit, I'm gonna place at perfection, and some people might find that a little bit weird. However, I think the Castle kit is actually a really good example of a perfectly executed specific build kit. Not everyone is gonna want to build castles. Not everyone is gonna want this kit, but that makes it a perfect kit because it is $5 that you can spend if you enjoy building castles in The Sims, and then it delivers exactly what it promises. It gives you all of the items that you need to make a nice castle. However, if that's not your cup of tea, you can just skip this one, and you're also not missing out on any more like versatile items, which is something that I think happens, for instance, with the Book Nook kit. If you don't necessarily want more bookcases, there is this one light that you will miss out on. Or with the Modern Luxe kit, if you don't like that style of the kit at all, you'll miss out on the frame TV. Like, all of these kits have one or two items that give you the FOMO of not having them. Whereas with the Castle Estate kit, I really love that you genuinely do not need to buy it if you do not want to build castles, and you will not be missing out on one or two specific items that are great. And therefore, I think it is a perfectly executed build kit. The Urban Homage kit, I'm gonna place at meh because I personally don't think this is a very nice kit. That's a very, very personal opinion. There's nothing wrong with this kit. I'm just not the biggest fan of the items it added. I don't think the items are super versatile. I just don't necessarily like the fashion style in this item, and I also don't feel like these items were something that was missing in the game. I don't think it adds a specific style or cultural representation to the game that we didn't have before, so I'm personally just not the biggest fan. It was made in collaboration with another simmer, which does make hack always like automatically a little bit better than any of the other kits, because you do genuinely see that someone with knowledge of the subject or knowledge of what it adds to the game was like involved in the design. I'm just personally not the biggest fan. Then we have the Party Essentials kit, which I fully expected to not like. I'm not gonna lie, I genuinely thought I wouldn't like this kit. This was the first kit that was gifted to me when I was at an EA Creator Network, so this kit will in a way hold a special place in my heart because it was the first ever gift I got from EA, but I actually happen to like it. I wouldn't necessarily place it in perfection, but there's a couple of items in this kit that I find myself using far more often than I anticipated. There's also a bunch of items in this kit where I'm like, I'll probably not use them as often, but I'm surprised. And I'm still, as you might notice from my reaction trying to explain this to you, a little bit confused by this kit, because I will still objectively say that I didn't need this kit and that it doesn't add anything that I was missing to my game, but then it is in my game and I do actually enjoy using the items. I feel like the same goes for the Riviera Retreat kit, because I like the kit. I think it comes with a bunch of really pretty items, specifically the furniture in the more neutral tones. I will find myself using outside a lot, but I got it gifted to me, so I almost struggle to decide whether I actually find it a good kit or whether I find it a good kit because I got it for free. So I do want to be completely honest about that kind of like internal struggle, because I don't want to go out here and say it's a perfect kit, you should buy it, and then that only being true because I didn't pay for it. But I do want to say that both of these kits come with really nice items, and I think it is just up to you to assess if those items would fit your play style or your build style. The Party Essentials kits has a lot of bright colors, a lot of like glimmers and glitters and balloons and like sparkles and confetti, which as it just turned out to be exactly what I needed for certain builds that I was working on at the time. I was building the Totally Spice house, which this just fit perfectly in there. And I just think that sometimes it is fun to push yourself in terms of what building styles you want to go for. But if that's not really your cup of tea and you don't want to build in that style, then don't get the kit. And then lastly, we have the Cozy Bistro, which is actually the most recent kit, what I'm actually going to add to a good kit, because I feel like it adds a bunch of really nice items. I love the style, but it's not an essential kit for me. This is not a kit where I'll be like, if you don't get this, you're truly missing out. but I do like it and I think it is a very pretty kit and I do enjoy building with it a lot. I think actually this covers my full review of all of the Sims kits. It is wild that you can make a video of about 30 minutes long just talking about the kits. That just goes to show how many kits there are at this point in the game. I'd absolutely love to hear your input on this tier list in the comments down below. If you have any different opinions on kits than I have, or if there's any like specific things you fully agree with, I would genuinely love to know it in the comments down below. If you like this review, please toss it a cheeky like. If you're not subscribed to my channel, I make videos on basically all things The Sims, and if you're interested in that, please make sure to hit that subscribe button, notification bell. And with all of that being said, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye everyone.